remember when you broke your arm?
Yeah.
And had to go to the hospital in the middle of, like, what were you on tour? When he was on tour.
How do you do that?
Weightlifting. Arm wrestling. A fucking bodybuilder broke his arm.
Wait. Hold on.
He's a fucking animal.
Hold on.
We gotta talk about the rocket launcher.
Wait. No.
We
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But who was the weightlifter? Who was you just saw this guy and was like, I could take him.
White boy in Germany?
He asked me. We were in Norway.
He
asked me to arm wrestle. So we arm wrestled. We arm wrestled with the right hand. I beat him. And then he wanted to go with the left hand for whatever reason. And I
was
agreed.
left-handed.
I agreed to it. No, he wasn't left-handed because we went with the right hand first. I agreed to it, but I agreed to it because I was drunk. And it was some girls there. He challenged me in front of some girls. So when we went with the left arm, I wanted to beat him the same way that I beat him with the right arm. So it was like, what happened was, they said go, and I had him down like this, and he somehow ended up at this kind of angle where he's pulling straight up.
Right.
But I'm on an angle where I'm trying to push him down, and I'm trying to snap him down.
Right.
Bop, and it just popped like that.
Wow.
It popped. It was a spiral fracture. This bone right here.
What did the girl say?
I think they came to the hospital with us.
So that worked out. They took care.
I mean, you know, if you want to look for the silver lining in it, you know, I'm optimist.
But if I'm promoting that show,
Right.
and I done spent all this money, and we done done all this promo, and you hear about the main artist that you got, you broke your arm doing what?
Right.
You didn't fall off the stage. You didn't get in a car accident. You with some white boy in Norway. For no fucking reason. You already won, and now you broke your arm, and now I gotta sit, like, now you're in a hot.
I went to jail right in the middle of my career for a year for drinking and driving.
And who sees that coming? That's my whole point. Who saw that coming?
The person that's with you every day. The person that's with you every day. And from what I've seen through my walks through the industry, is that a lot of these artists are surrounded by enablers or people that's there to get something out of it, and they're not gonna say nothing when shit is going wrong because they don't want to upset this person and not be in that position.
Well, depending on what that is, I think the line kind of gets fuzzy. If you're talking about addiction, then you're talking about something totally different. If I'm an addict, so if you come around me and you're saying things about my addiction, it's gonna cause distance between me and you.
Right.
Because if I'm not ready to get better, then I only want enablers around.
Right.
I don't want to feel bad about a problem that I already have.
Right.
It's not something. That's why I hated the way that people talked about X after he died. It was like people was around him. They knew that he was struggling. They knew that he was fighting. They knew that he was fighting his demons. Well, of course they did. But addiction is not something that somebody can fix you. It's one of those things where you have to. With me, I got to a point where I was just tired of it. I was just tired of everything that came along with being drunk all the time.
But what did that look like?
Which part?
Like what were the I did this, because it had to stack up eventually where you were
the bad stuff?
Can't. Yeah. What was the things that stacked?
Going to jail, getting in a few serious beefs as a result of me just feeling like I was drunk all the time, so I wasn't in a clear mind frame enough at the time, because I know if I was, I would have been able to talk my way through things with the right people. If I could have just been the regular, cool, just guy that I am when I'm sober, and not tripping about shit all the time, and not worrying about shit all the time, and not being on edge all the time, I could have prevented so much dumb shit from happening to so many people.
Well, what happened to the mornings?
The mornings?
The mornings, where you wake up the next day like, oh shit, I did that last night?
That was every morning.
But you was drinking, right? But was you drinking for breakfast too?
Sometimes.
Speaking of enabling, what would that be like with you and Marshall, with M? Was he like saying it's gonna be cool, Royce? You'll get through it, or were y'all fighting back and forth?
Were y'all both kind of fighting your own demons at the same time? Because
he was dealing with
he
addiction
also
too.
had to check himself in the rehab a couple times.
Early in the beginning, neither one of us was to that point yet. I took my first drink around Dr. Dre at 21 years old. You know, Marshall was always doing pills around me, but I never looked at it like it was problematic.
Right.
And for the record, me and Marshall never, but not until recently, we never had even a spat. No disagreements, ever.
Ever. Mm-hmm. Well, not until recently.
Well, you know, like we don't agree with each other on everything. You know what I'm saying? Like we grown men now. You know, back then I just kind of looked at him like a big brother. I mean, I still do.
Right.
You know what I mean? But there wasn't really many scenarios. He's not like the preaching type. You know what I mean? Like he's not the type, yo, you got to stop this or you got to stop that. Like one thing he said to me after we got cool, after we went years without talking, he said, yo, you know, if you ever feel like you got a problem, you can call me, right? Mm. And he just kind of planted the seed like that. Like, but never would he call me and be like, yo, I think you tripping. You need to do this. You need to do that. I would never do that to anybody. I just don't think that's a good approach.
Well, was there any times that you was around him and you felt like, yo, this pill popping thing is kind of crazy?
Him? His?
Yeah.
No.
Were you an enabler? Does that make you an enabler?
I don't think so.
Did you enable
Were you
him
popping
to
pills with him?
No. Oh, well, during the ecstasy era, absolutely.
Okay.
Damn, everybody was just doing X. It was just
I popped ecstasy too,
where
bro.
X was just the thing. Everybody was just, it's time.
That's the word, beautifulness.
We are not encouraging anybody to do drugs. Bleep this guy, man. Like, come on.
Your first bleep ever? Hey, yo, listen, I got one. ESSO bleep. On the club.
That's something to get out of your way when you're in your 20s and 30s.
Fair.
Or how about you just skip it altogether? Like,
No.
That's a good
Like, man, you never took a drink, ever.
Never.
And I've tried to get him to, like, take shots and celebrate and all that, but...
That's an enabler.
How?
You just said I tried.
How?
Because
he doesn't have a problem. He's just never done it.
Yeah. So what if you try to get him to do it and he says okay just because he wants to, you know, feel like y'all have a connection. Right. And then that ends up turning into a problem for him down the line that he didn't know that he was wired that way. That would make you a form of an enabler.
No,
that's how you was at 21, right?
I can't get blamed for that.
I didn't say blame.
Yeah, no.
You're like the A&R now, man. Getting blamed for the project.
Listen, man. Listen.
Get blamed for the audience. He getting blamed for the audience. I don't have no blame for the artists.
Listen.
I don't have no blame for the artists.
I get it. I think y'all got me confused on what side I be sitting on, man.
No,
I used to drop off packs, bro. I wasn't. You feel what I'm saying? You get what I mean? You know what I mean?
You only need time, you know, with addiction.
Yeah, you know how that shit
but nah, if he took a drink and he decided to be an alcoholic, that's your fault, bro. That ain't mine.
Wow.
Because where there's a choice, there are no victims.
Right.
My nigga, you chose. It's on you, bro.
I asked Royce.
I don't think it makes him a victim, but it makes you an enabler, but it doesn't make it your fault.
And I feel like an enabler is someone who sees, he's really fucking everything up. But you know, I'm gonna go buy this beer that he just asked for. I'm gonna go get this bottle of champagne for him. That's an enabler. Me just getting him to take a shot.
You feel like it's your job to police your friends?
If you care enough, I'm not saying it's your job to do it to the point where it becomes a burden on you. Because I've had friends get drunk around me and I'll be like, yo, bro, you gotta drink this water. And they'd be like, no, I'm good. Now we have a problem.
But
if you can't recognize that you fucked up, you can't be around me. Yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah, so you know what I mean? It's your choice. It's your choice to choose, you know, whether to be around that person or not.
No, I've kicked niggas out. They've been friends. Now, I haven't spoken to them since. Mm-hmm. Because I'm not like, we all have goals. We all have things that we want to do with our lives, and there's certain habits that's detrimental to that shit. Mm-hmm. And if that's something you can't recognize, like, yo, I have a problem with this.
Yeah, so you making that choice based off of you not wanting them to fuck your shit up. You're not making it because you care that they have a problem.
Not just my shit up, but you might get me involved in some shit. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't want to watch you fuck your shit up. I don't want to sit there, because I've been there trying to help a friend. Yo, come on, bro, you got to da-da-da-da-da. And to a certain extent, they become dependent on you being that voice, but it doesn't mean they're going to change.
Right.
After a while, it's just the same soap opera.
That's called self-care.
Yeah.
And people from a distance look at that and they call you an enabler of sorts because they assume that you're just there. But you removed yourself from it a long time ago. You stand in a far enough proximity from that person to protect yourself.
Not only that, but sometimes it takes for someone to lose somebody close to them.
Get them closer to
before
rock
they're
bottom.
like, you know what, I really need to stop.
This nigga gave up on me? Oh man, what am I doing?
Once it's, he always been there, he always kept it 100 with me. Damn, why would he just, maybe I do have a problem.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's why interventions are such rolls of the dice. An intervention is basically an ultimatum.
Did you have an intervention?
No, nobody gave me an intervention. But if my mom and everybody else that I care about would have set me down all together and told me, you know, like, we need you to go get treatment or you lose us, I would have went and got treatment for them.
Right.
But I would have relapsed because I wasn't ready.
Would it have held?
Right.
Yeah, I love people enough to where, you know, I'm willing to attempt to get better if you know, if it'll show them how much that I love them. But I also understand that people that do those interventions don't really understand addiction that much, and they're basically put in a position to where they have to make a decision.
Yeah, because I could see an intervention pushing someone to go get high or go get drunk.
Yeah.
You got a room full of people coming down on you. You know what I'm saying?
Depression.
And some people go to treatment, and then that thing clicks in their mind, like, holy shit, I've been sober long enough. I'm starting to see the light now, and then they fly straight. But if you in the record business.
It's Hoffa, trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars, I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga.